again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of 15 Minutes in WACSI, the special edition that we discuss issues affecting the world of civil society and what civil society is doing to enhance the development of West Africa. Today, we have a very special guest, an expert in the field of digital security, and that is an area that many of us civil society organizations or civil society actors are not fully aware of. And so today we will be trying to expand on what digital security is all about and what you and I will need to be doing to ensure that we stay safe in this increasingly risky space. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you so much.
Can you please introduce yourself to our guests, our viewers?
My name is Sule Anthony. I work with Corporation of Nigeria. I work as a project manager for digital security. And basically I do vulnerability assessment for organizations, I do incident response, and I do malware analysis.
Digital security, what is that? Can you elaborate on what digital security is all about?
Well, for me, I would say digital security is it's quite a broad topic, but if you look at it critically, it's just a series of connected controls and techniques and measures that are just aimed at protecting information and technology and people too, I would say. So basically you look at how that on the one hand, digital security is about the many things put together, so from the people to the technology to the controls to policies, several things on one side, and then what they really want to do, or the aim of those things are really to protect information, or to protect technology, or to protect people who use the internet or use technology as a whole.
Looking at our region, West Africa, you're from Nigeria, you work in Nigeria, and you're here in Ghana to support, civil society organizations to create a community of practice around digital security. But looking at the digital security landscape in the region, particularly within the development sector or the space in which civil society actors operate, what's your appreciation or assessment of the digital security landscape in the region?
To be honest, it's still at a very nascent point where we are right now. I've mostly worked this past 2 years in Nigeria and Ghana, across several cities, but mostly Nigeria and Ghana. And I would say that what we have right now is, to be very honest, is not very positive. So we have several attacks, cyber attack going on. We have a case of very few people attending to them within this space, and then we have a case of organizations not being aware, and very few organizations who are there to support civil society organizations. I'll give an instance. I would say that from my experience so far with civil societies in Nigeria, Ghana, and some other countries in West Africa, if you look at any country, like in Nigeria, I feel like if you look at the region critically, they are just pick any country in West Africa. You could handpick the number of organizations that are focused on digital security for civil societies. I would say in Nigeria, I do not know of any other organization that's focused on core digital security for CSOs apart from our organization, Corporation Hub. And I think that's very vital. Security is something that affects everybody. It's funny enough, it's gone deeper than what we see at face value. For instance, when a bank or an enterprise gets hit by a cyber attack or with a cyber attack, they are obligated to report it, right? Because of maybe policies and they're obligated to report it. But it's not so for civil society organizations. And the truth is they are getting attacked every now and then. I'll cite two examples. The first is, I think in November 2018, I was conducting a vulnerability assessment for an organization in Nigeria, and I learned, so the executive director called me to the office and explained to me how $15,000 went missing, just like that. And they wanted me to do an investigation for them, and long and short of it all is that this organization had actually been hit with an attack, and somehow $15,000 had vanished from their coffers. And this is not anywhere in the news, right? Nobody knew about it. They didn't. Of course, it was a sensitive topic. They didn't let that many people know about it, but this $15,000 is huge sum. I mean, that could do a lot for an organization within this space. That's just one example. And having conducted vulnerability assessment for quite a number of organizations in Nigeria and Ghana, I found my organization conducted assessment for 30 organizations in Nigeria and Ghana, and about 75% of them acknowledged that they had been hit with one form of attack or the other. These are people that we went into. But if you look at West Africa generally, you have, 100,000 CSOs or more. So that's like a huge point to look at, but there are just very few organizations. I mean, in Ghana, we'll talk about maybe the Africa Cybersecurity and Digital Rights Organization, who are doing a fantastic job, and maybe in Gambia, like the Gambia Cybersecurity Alliance. There are just very few organizations that do work that focuses on digital security for CSOs. And I think that's something that needs to be addressed. Looking at the vast population and the vast number of CSOs we have, and the fact that attacks are happening every now and then. Currently, I'm dealing with a targeted malware attack at a journalist in Nigeria. It's a very sensitive case. So he had been reporting on something that had been going on with one of the agencies in Nigeria, and we've seen malware, and we're analyzing it, and we're seeing that this thing has a reference to some of those things in the public space. What I'm trying to say in essence is attacks are happening, but we have very few people who address them within West Africa. And then also when we talk about people, like the skill set, they're not very, and I think that's one of the reasons why we're doing the Community of Practice program here in Ghana. We do not have enough people like digital security professionals who work with civil society organizations. And there are many reasons for that. And one of them is because, of course, when people go through the extent of getting certified. Certifications in cybersecurity are very expensive. When people go through the extent of getting certified, they really just want to work with banks or enterprises who pay top dollar and things like that. But how can we change that? We need more people in the space. I'll give you a very funny stat. In Nigeria, we have about 1,800 certified security professionals, and there are just about 20 who work with civil society. And those 20, we trained all of them. That's the honest truth. For Ghana, it's around 1,200 certified professionals, and the numbers are very similar when you go from country to country in West Africa. So the point is, attacks are going on. There are not enough organizations there to handle it, and we have very few manpower there to support civil society organizations, and I think this is something we need to do better on.
A lot of issues, have emerged from, your analysis or appreciation of the space, and, I already feel like there is some fright in me. I will even be a target, given that I'm working in this space. But as civil society actors, as civil society organizations, what recommendations do you have for us? What do we need to start doing and now?
I think when I get asked this question quite a lot of times, and for me the very first thing that comes to mind is willingness. The truth is, yes, cybersecurity, implementing cybersecurity controls for your organization, getting a professional to come do a security assessment for you might be expensive, but one thing I've come to understand is that when an organization is willing, there are so many organizations, right, across the world, from OTF to EFF to Access now, that are developing tools that are available for free for organizations to use. The truth is, if you're very intentional as an organization, as a civil society organization about your security, it's very easy to say, okay, we want to secure our data. What tools do we have available to us? Are they free? And the truth is, there are many tools. I would say, if I was to do a vulnerability assessment and provide recommendation for a civil society now, 90% of the tools I would ask you to implement or technology controls I will ask you to implement are very free. So you see, you may just pay me my service fee, right? But the truth is, there are many people, I myself am willing to do some of these things for free for organizations. But it starts with the intention, right? It starts with intentionality and willingness. So as an organization, are you willing? Do you understand that there are risks out there that you're exposed to? And are you willing to take the first step to say, you know what, let's address this? It's not about a money thing. when you mention cybersecurity to civil society, they're like, oh, we don't have money for that, we don't have budget, we're even struggling to pay salaries. But the truth is, if you understand that you are at risk and you want to do something about it, that's just the first step. Be willing to do something about it, and you find people in the space. There are organizations that are willing to give you grants to to beef up your cybersecurity architecture. There are people, myself inclusive, who will be willing to come to organization and do this thing for free for you. Right? It starts with intentionality and willingness to address it.
And it is often said, where there is a will, there is a way. So, I encourage you, if you are a civil society organization, contact Anthony Sule and you can provide at least the basic advice on where to start from. But looking beyond that, and looking at Nigeria, Ghana, where you've worked, extensively in, what are the state infrastructures that exist that are there to assist civil society organizations in case they require assistance from these authorities?
To be very honest, they are not that many. I know for Nigeria, for instance, we have an act called the Cybercrime Act, and that basically is a regulation that looks at the kind of offenses and that's related to crime that's committed online, basically kind of things we're talking about, like risk and the rest. And they have a competent emergency response team. But the truth is it very functional? The truth is, what we found with government agencies that are put in place to support in terms of cybersecurity, they are not very functional. Or even when they are, it's not for the masses, it's not for the people. It's usually for related government agencies and parastatals. So to be very honest, whether it's Nigeria or Ghana, I wouldn't bet on, say, government support or who do you reach out to in government. I would rather talk about foreign organizations that have shown that they are interested in the security and privacy of civil society organizations. So as I mentioned earlier, organizations like Open Technology Fund, organizations like the EFF, organizations like Access Now, and then also, interestingly, we're part of a civil society computer emergency response team. My company and Defenders are the only members from Africa in that alliance. And basically what we do is, whenever there is an attack on any civil society or any journalist or anybody in the non-government space, reach out to us and we'll come solve that problem for you. Right. So these are when you want to talk about if you're getting interested in security and say you want to do an analysis or vulnerability assessment, or you've been hit with a cyber attack and you want immediate response. Maybe this is not good on our own government, but I wouldn't ask you to bet on the government. I would ask you to reach out to probably a civil set, reach out to a Digital Defenders Partnership, DDP, reach out to Access Now or EFF. These people, they are there 24 hours to support you. You need an emergency grant to do something in security. These people are there to help you. I would bet more on them than on any government agency right now.
We are talking to you, Anthony, and I'm sure our listeners will be curious to know how you can help them. What are those 1, 2, 3 services that you currently put at the disposal of civil society actors, civil society organizations, be it in Nigeria, Ghana, or Africa, that may need your support in the days ahead after watching this?
Well, we offer quite a number of services at my organization. We're a social enterprise, by the way, and that means that we're just looking at social challenges and looking at using technologies to solve those problems. But in terms of digital security, we offer we have a suite of solutions that goes from vulnerability assessment, training for staff members. We'll also do incident response and remediation. So when we find vulnerabilities within your technology and systems, we help you to address those issues. We also do security consulting and strategy design. So for instance, if you have so many data points, or you have like so many, maybe it's a big organization like a WACSI, for instance, you work with several organizations. We could design a strategy for you, design security policy for you, because you have like quite a number of employees. It's not like the typical CSO where just like 3, 4, 5 or 6 people. We will design a strategy for you, design ways for you to recover in terms if you're hit with an attack and things like that. But basically we do vulnerability assessment, we do incident response. Incident response basically is that you've been attacked and you want us to help you recover quickly. Let's say your social media account or your website was hacked and hijacked by a hacker. We can help you recover that. And then we do security strategy design. So basically you want to say, you know what, we're not just talking about this month or next month, just come and do a one-off training for us. We want you to do something long-term. How can we protect ourselves over the long term? What are the guiding principles and policies we should abide by? And we're willing to do that for you.
I must say WACSI has benefited from the services of Anthony's organization. A security assessment was conducted, and that actually opened our eyes up to some of those key possible dangers that we could be exposed to, and we have really started taking measures to make sure we are safer as an organization. So I encourage you to contact Anthony. Can you share your contact with our listeners so that
you reach out to my organization. So it's Co-Creation of Nigeria. So www.cchubnigeria.com. You will get our contact details there. If you reach out to our contact person, they would get to us. Just let them know what you want. We're quite a big organization, so we do a lot of stuff. So if you just mention digital security, we'll take it up from there.
Lovely. And if you want to understand more about digital security, Anthony and my colleague Christian Elonge, they published or they co-authored a piece on digital security in Africa, and then you can read it on our resources platform, which you get more insights and get contacts, or some of the services that some of the organizations he made mention of, like Access Now, do offer, and you will actually be better prepared or more aware of these threats and how you can respond to them. Remember, Anthony told us, willingness is the first thing, not the money. So open up, reach out to Co-Creation Hub, and I'm sure we shall be safer, in the space we operate in. I'm sure you learned one or two things from this. If you enjoyed this episode, do not hesitate to follow us on YouTube, share a comment, like the video, and of course give us a feedback so that we can improve and bring more interesting topics and insights for your edification. Thank you once again, Anthony.
Thank you so much.
It was a great pleasure to have you on the show.